Hey, Vanzuko here. Welcome to GeezerReport Self-Reliance. We're going to cover a lot of ground through the series. Easier ways to do things, some really useful things,
crazy things, and
I promise
the occasional really smart thing.
Anyway, what do you say? Let's get at it. Well, right now we know that the world is freaking out over PPE, you know, the personal protection equipment, like masks. Now, I've noticed a lot of people just aren't familiar with shop towels. And I guess if you're not handy, you may not even know about them. But these are great. These are absolutely great. Now, again, shop towels are super tough. They're very heavy duty. They're probably 2 to 3 times heavier than a regular kitchen style paper towel. And they have a couple of really interesting properties. And of course, if you spend a lot of time in your workshop or you're a handy type person, you already know this about shop towels, but they're somewhat tear resistant. And when you use them, you can actually gently wash them and reuse them. So for the purpose I'm going to show you here, they're perfect. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece of shop towel, and it really doesn't matter which way you orient it because these things are pretty much 11 inches by 11 inches. I just picked the more even seam because, well, you'll see in a few minutes why I do that. But we're going to fan fold this paper towel, and what I mean by fan fold, basically we're going to do fairly small folds, like maybe 3/4 of an inch a piece, kind of put a crisper edge on that seam. You can use a can of peas, can of corn, whatever you can find to kind of put a crisper edge on the fold. So then you're going to turn it over and fold it back the other way. And what you're going to end up with eventually is something like this that's more like a fan, resembles a fan. Now, I don't want to belabor this, so we're going to speed it up just a bit. So now we have our folded up paper towel. Excuse me, our folded up shop towel. Significant difference between this and a kitchen type paper towel. I'm going to take a heavy duty stapler because this is a heavier duty towel. And what we want to do is we want to hold our folds, and because it is heavier, probably got to give the stapler a pretty good whack there. Yeah, that looks good. Same thing with the other side. And now we have a folded up stapled shop towel. So what, right? Well, here's where it gets even more interesting. Okay, so here's where our mission starts to become a little clearer here. So get some other items out. How about some rubber bands? Now these are, you know, your standard run-of-the-mill rubber bands. You might get them off of your Sunday paper, whatever. But depending on your willingness to put time into it, you could get really fancy and maybe use elastic shoestrings, something like that. But for the sake of this exercise, we're going to just use the rubber bands. So this is a little bit tougher just because of the thickness of the material. But basically, you want to hold the rubber band onto the paper towel here, just like this. Get it in under the stapler. Don't want to be keeping your fingers in there when you do this. And now you have a rubber band stapled to a shop towel. How cool is that? And we're going to take the other end. We're going to do the same thing. And there we have a shop towel with a rubber band stapled to each end. Gee, isn't that great? Now, let me show you what you have here.